Today we are going to do something really fun. It could be a little messy and also pretty easy. We are going to do bubble painting. So here's a warning that this project is super messy. Sorry, Mom. One thing I want you to remember about this project is that it's definitely experimental art. So you're going in just asking, what will happen when? What will happen when I mix this color into the bubbles? What will happen when I use this kind of wand? What will happen? Where will these bubbles go? What will the color do on the page? So don't go in with the mindset of, oh, it has to look like this and this is exactly what I want. Go in just trying to find out what will happen. For this project, I tried 3 different methods for the bubble, making the colorful bubbles. I started with bubbles that were bottled, that I bought at the store. I tried liquid watercolor, felt tip markers, and food coloring that you use for icing cakes. So after doing several different tries, I found that the felt tip markers were the best option for getting colorful bubbles that also actually blew bubbles. When I used the liquid watercolor, I had a very hard time making actual bubbles, but it did splatter really well, so I think it's still a good method. The food coloring was very similar to the liquid food coloring, same thing where I didn't get a lot of bubbles out of it, but I did get a lot of color and still a lot of splattering. So they are both still good options to use and to try. So getting the marker ink into the bubbles was actually a little bit tricky. I started out first by taking markers and just dipping them into the bubbles like this. And honestly, it just pulled all the ink away from the tip. So it's actually coming back a little bit more now. They were all really white inside the glass jars with the bubbles. But then my 12-year-old said, "Mom, I know what to do." And she ran inside and then she came back with a pair of kitchen shears and a pair of gloves and started tearing apart the markers. So she cut the ends of the markers off with the kitchen shears. And then she pulled out this centerpiece. So the part that holds all of the ink in the marker. And then she dropped it down in there. Actually, I think she said she squeezed it. See, I had to run inside real quickly. I didn't think she was gonna get it done before I got back, but she did. All 5 markers were out, squeezed. I wasn't even gone very long. I had no idea I was raising a professional marker opener, ink getter, outer, or anyway, you're going to then take the center ink thingy. I don't know what else to call it. So you're going to take the center ink thingy out of the marker with your tweezers and you'll squeeze it. Remember, you're wearing gloves. You'll squeeze that ink out down into your bubble solution, and then you'll just drop the center ink thingy down into the bottle to let any more, because there will still be a lot left in there, to let it drain out into the rest of your bubbles. It doesn't take very long. It goes pretty quickly. I have just left these in there just so that they can keep draining. A lot of people like to actually make watercolors with the center ink thingies. You can pull them out, same thing, put them in water and let them soak for a pretty long time, and then you'll have some watercolor that you made with markers. That's a different lesson though. Anyway, all right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you about making the markers with the bubbles, but making bubbles with the markers, but I don't think so. Just remember that you want to use gloves. You will need kitchen shears to cut off the tip of those markers, the very end. You want to do it from the back side of the marker, and you really need to have an adult do it. unless you're a professional 12-year-old marker center thingy getter outer. But really, ask an adult for permission before you do it, okay? All right, let's get started. So now I'm going to show you how to get those markers open and how to make the marker bubbles. So you're going to put your gloves on. And maybe roll up your sleeves if you have sleeves. This is really a project that's probably better for sunny days that are nice and warm. Okay, now you're going to take your marker and you're going to cut off that tip. Sorry, I keep saying tip, but you're going to cut off the end. You're going to be really careful because you don't want to cut yourself. And then it kind of pops off right there. And then you can just pop it right out. And inside is the center marker ink thingy. You'd get tweezers and just slide it out. Set that aside. And now we'll go ahead and down a little closer. And we'll just start to squeeze that out. Now we're going to do the liquid watercolor bubbles. And then you'll just take your liquid watercolor, put a couple of drops in. Start small with your, or start with a small amount and work your way up till you get the color you like. So I don't think there's quite enough color in this, so I'm going to add some more. Now I'm going to try using a little bit of food coloring. All I have is this gel kind, so I'm just going to see how that works. I already put some bubbles in there, and then what I'm going to do is just take a tiny bit on my popsicle stick and then start mixing it in. I'm going to set that down so I don't spill it everywhere. So just like blowing bubbles, you are going to get your little wand down in your color, and then you're just going to blow. Be gentle because otherwise it's going to go everywhere. Let's try another color. Just getting a new wand. How about some blue? I'm going to mix that up in there. So it doesn't even require very much. And you get some really cool looks. Okay, so now I'm going to try with the bubbles that I added liquid watercolor to. Try and get it so it's not too drippy, too full. Try another color too. I'm gonna wipe off my wand before I go to the next color. Try the purple. So now I'm going back to the watercolor that has the marker in it. I'm trying out a different wand. I'm having a hard time getting those bubbles to blow off and then onto the page. Oh, but you do get lots of splatter, which is fun. not a splatter. Okay, so now I pulled out the blue. I got one giant bubble to land. Let's see if we can get any more. Oh, so close. There we go, we got one. Let's see if we can get another one. All right. Lots of little bubbles that time. So I'm just going to say, be really patient as you do this. You don't want to rush it. You want to kind of take your time, see what you can come up with, see what you can create, and have fun. Try the green. So it's kind of fun just to see how each color differs, and you don't really know what you're going to get, so it's kind of fun. So obviously you can see that this project is very messy. Make sure you're doing it outside. Make sure you're not wearing clothes that you absolutely love, that are fancy or something, you know. And make sure you have permission and supervision. Okay, so now here is an attempt with the food coloring bubbles. Ooh. There we go. So the only problem is that the bubbles really do come back and get you in the face. these are my final products. I really love how much they splatter. And the big circles are really cool. And the colors that you get. I think this one's really fun. And I really hope you do too. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Have fun! So now I really need to do some cleanup because it's a little bit of a disaster over here. I hope that you guys try this out. I hope that you have a lot of fun, and I hope that you create something that you really love. Have a good day, guys. Bye.